Okay, so here's the problem. You want to become a more fashionable man. The cause of that problem is that you're having trouble finding a style that works for you within your budget. The videos on YouTube are long and they're surface level. They try to sell you Vincero watches. You feel dumb trying new things. There's a lack of options. The solution, as I'm going to explain in the next couple of minutes, involves helping men find stylistic direction. Now, this is a number of steps from understanding what actually holds you back, what clothes are used for, to getting inspiration, and then lastly, how to source those clothes themselves, where to get them from. Let's look at why most men fail to be fashionable.
It never ceases to amaze me how much of men's style inspiration online resembles stuff like this. You know the kind, the Slovenian cigarette dealer who may or may not dabble in organized crime aesthetic. If you're a guy who's new to style and you're just getting into exploring how things should look, how clothes should fit, this is an awful representation of how clothing should fit in any way. Any sudden movement in this entire outfit is going to rip off this man's body because it's so tight. And if you go to a platform like Pinterest, this is all you see. Dudes who've done a little too many steroids whose jeans are literally ripping off of their bodies. As a personal stylist, I spend a lot of my time making mood boards, and about 70% of my time is just sifting through photos like this. So it's no wonder why guys get discouraged when they're trying to elevate their look, because this is kind of all you see out there, and it's a nightmare.
The large majority of mainstream men's fashion advice is actually much like this. It caters to the male gaze, meaning it is what men think that women want, but women often want something else. You can refer to this video for a better explanation or this podcast episode. The same problem here in these outfits is that men think that muscles are cool. But much like how they also think that buying a fast car will help them attract more women, it does help, but not to the extent that you may think. They become overly focused on showing off muscular features like biceps, pecs, and quads. But the easiest way to explain style is an artistic expression of yourself. So when Style Turner makes fun of those men as dressing like part-time Eastern European drug dealers, to him and realistically everyone else, that's the message those clothings are conveying. While men focus on the physical, women focus on the emotional. That is the crux of attractive heterosexual style. This creator makes an excellent point that most men wear clothes for the sake of wearing them. It's like a uniform.
It's like, uniform.
No stylistic thought or creative expression goes into it because as men we work towards pragmatism. Another creator makes the point that the standards of acceptable style for men are rock bottom, and the same outfit doesn't really work for women who have to put in more aesthetic labor. While I do agree with her point, you look towards the comments and it seems that anything attractive men wear is fashionable. If Kim Jong-un wore the same outfit, you would make an immediate judgment of character based on the face alone before you get to the clothes. While many men do dress for their body type, they don't dress for their face, nor do they work to become the cute boy that's used as an example in this man's comment. Our first reason, therefore, is that men fail to style themselves appropriately because they ignore the importance of physical attractiveness, namely the face, and so they never properly express themselves. It feels disingenuous. I've never seen a single creator on the topic ever acknowledge the point that good-looking people can wear anything and look good. We see clothes as an additive bonus to becoming more attractive. If you're physically unattractive, just wear some nicer things, buy this Vincero watch and these sweatshop bracelets and you'll get an immediate +2 to your looks. But I propose that style and clothing is multiplicative to your existing attractiveness. A 20% multiplier, say for example, to your existing attractiveness, meaning that the benefits of fashionable clothing disproportionately benefit more attractive men and women at the upper end of physical looks, more so than it does at the lower end. And this effect is documented in the scientific literature. You can check out this podcast episode for the research. The second reason comes from Hong and colleagues, who states the importance of self-image in deciding what to wear. This is the summary of their research, and different stylistic archetypes are linked to different types of men. Some men consider themselves intelligent and classy. This self-image may come from being an accomplished man of the arts, for example. Maybe they're a wealthier individual, and the way he dresses is congruent to his self-image, and so people can correctly attribute these fantasies to them because he is the man that he says he is through his clothing. With conventional men's self-help channels, there is too much emphasis on using style, haircuts, and beards to become something that you're not. And this is why, despite the millions of hours of content on men's style, most men still want to dress like this, comfortable, because they themselves are comfortable, they wish to take no risks, they don't rock the boat, they work their day jobs in and out, come home, relax, and repeat. What I'm showing on screen is just an example of one aesthetic style. Let me emphasize that I'm not saying you should be dressing like this. I just want to highlight the comment section, where men are professionals at making excuses. And this is exactly what Olivia was talking about, that we have this privilege of doing the bare minimum when it comes to clothing, and we've just become accustomed to that. This is the answer to the problem. You don't know what you don't know. And what you don't know is that dressing like this, or dressing like any style, doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to be white, nor do you have to be any particular racial group to put on a set of clothes. When I say that clothes are a reflection of your lifestyle, not just something you put on for the day, this is exactly what I mean. The type of people who have an excuse lined up and the ones who find a way. There are obviously other reasons like peer pressure that I haven't covered, but I genuinely do believe that stylish men do the work, the aesthetic labor of becoming something better from within, and use their clothes to reflect that, as opposed to the regular man who buys clothing and pretends to be something that they're not. Like when young boys dress in suits and play pretend Wall Street, everyone in the comment section calls it out. It's disingenuous and people pick up on that. And that's the crux of the point that I'm trying to make. Figure out what type of man you want to be, and as you work towards that, your style will gradually reflect as you learn from people that are similar around you. It's a process. To figure out what type of stylish archetype you want to be, it's important to get inspiration. Now, I prefer fashion shows on YouTube to find designers and brands that fit me. Think of style like climate and outfits like the weather. Your style influences the type of outfit that you're going to wear. Personally, I like Saint Laurent's dark, sleek, and slick back aesthetic, and it's very much me, and so it's easy for me to set up outfits that I know will work. It's easy for me to find content creators who review the clothes that I like to buy, and it's easy for me to buy these clothes at cheaper prices without buying designer because I know what to look for. This is stylistic direction. As homework, I recommend that you look at Haider Ackerman, Tom Ford, and Issey Miyake's runway shows. These are three very different male designers, but all exquisitely tasteful clothing. In the description is a list of 50 other designers, and you should see their lineups as well to get an understanding of what I mean by stylistic direction. Try to box each of these runway shows into one of these keywords to see what the inspiration is for them. Secondly, you can go to websites like Male Fashion Advice, the subreddit, or a variant of that on Reddit, and these have regular people wearing stylish, sometimes risky outfits, but it should help dispel the "I feel dumb" thoughts that you have when you wear something that's different. After all, if you want the benefit of being attractive, you need to be above average, which means doing things that other people aren't doing. You can also go back to Pinterest and use these keywords for more targeted results. I like pleated pants, for example, so I search by that type of clothing for styling inspiration. I also recommend these two channels because one, Daniel Simmons gives excellent advice for stylish everyday wear. Frugal Aesthetic is also a good place to learn fashion terms and styles. On TikTok, Marcus Milione teaches classic menswear and is very good at explaining the concepts. There's many different resources like this, you just need to pay attention to the quality of the advice that they're giving. By this point, you should have some clothing keywords like, say for example, SLP wire boots. I would avoid buying counterfeits, but can help you get exact replicas. Zara and H&M have clothing of every kind of style, from fashionable to basics. And if you can live with the conscience of fast fashion destroying our planet, then you should go buy from them for more stylish bi-weekly outfits. For essentials and daily wear, buy it from either AliExpress in bulk on the cheap or from your regular department store. And for rarer once in a blue moon outfits, you can go to grail.com or find it on Taobao, which is where the Chinese keep all the good stuff from us and they give us AliExpress instead, which is pretty rubbish. Now be warned, it is difficult to navigate, but you can learn it by watching a few guides. It's doable. I personally picked this up for $60 USD including shipping, and it gets compliments because there's nothing quite like it in the stores. So to recap this video, style is more than just a uniform to wear, it is an artistic expression of you and yourself. This ties in with the emotional connection of the female gaze because it shows that you're emotionally in tune with yourself. You understand who you are, where you're going, you have some direction in your life. Wearing clothing that isn't you is easy to spot because it's out of the ordinary for those around you. It is a gradual process, and that's something that men's fashion advice channels never talk about. You can tailor your self-image by working towards the archetype of man that you want to be and quite literally embody the fashion style and lifestyle. Good style is a lifestyle change. You don't just go one day wearing something fashionable and then back to wearing some really crappy outfits. It doesn't work like that. You can use modeling shows for exposure to many different styles. It really opens your mind up into how clothing can be used. You can use websites like Taobao and AliExpress, Grailed, Zara, H&M to build a wardrobe on the cheap. You just have to know where to buy which type of clothing. You can use websites like r/male fashion advice to teach you how to use basic clothing in new stylish ways without having to buy a new outfit altogether. So it teaches you the versatility of clothing. Full disclaimer that we have recently added a very experienced stylist to the Coos team by popular demand, and she helps prepare lookbooks for our clients, and they're based on your body but also on your face because, you know, we're Coos, and this is something that other stylists don't actually focus on, and I think it's so crucial that you dress for your face as well.